before you get too outside yourself. Let me talk to you for a little bit. Okay. That's right. Yeah, it's not a problem. Esoteric to the exoteric, all this thoughtless. Yeah, everything y'all know is common knowledge. Yeah. Alright now. Yeah, okay. It's cosmic nonsense. Alpha and Omega, Alphabet and Amazonas. Where this water dripping from just is not a faucet. Yeah. Alright now. I just be in a dream, still I can't even wait. Asking me where you real from, I came out of space. Beautiful spirits in the sky, still creating the day. If you don't got your own mind, you gon' stay in a flame. Let me ask you, what you gon' do if I told you now? What was you gon' do if I told you that you just externalize? Everything is eternal. Yeah. What was you gon' do if I told you now? What was you gon' do if I told you that you just externalize? Everything is eternal. Yeah. Demons from the past like the axe, do you remember me? Going in the dark is being trapped up in a memory. Imagine all my enemies laughing at the end of me. The energy they gave got me surpassing all their distant dreams. Don't act like this is just a meme. It's something more than that. All this knowledge that I be getting, right where the Lord be at. Pain is like rain in the brain, right where you storming at. Front and center, I need some cover, just like a quarterback. Yeah, going back to my early days, I was on my third dizzle. Yeah, fucked around with the wrong people, now I got trust issues. Yeah, watch the ones who got a lot of problems and they try to fuck with you. Yeah, 9 times out of 10, they the ones gon' give you trust issues. Because there's always agendas behind a relationship. Cause they don't really fuck with ya behind all the faking shit. You really think you need your sister or that guy you was staying with? You really need to get the picture, in your mind you ain't making sense. What was you gon' do if I told you now? What was you gon' do if I told you that you just externalize? Everything is eternal. Yeah. What was you gon' do if I told you now? What was you gon' do if I told you that you just externalize? Everything is eternal. Yeah. In this world with nobody, you know, they wanna know where the pilot flew. Everything externalized that's outside came from inside of you. Gotta pick up their pieces, you know, but ain't nobody there to claim it. Since the puzzle completed, now everybody gon' be waiting. What the fuck, yeah? What was you gon' do if I told you now? What was you gon' do if I told you that you just externalize? Everything is eternal. Yeah. What was you gon' do if I told you now? What was you gon' do if I told you that you just externalize? Everything is eternal. Yeah.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your Mercury and Scorpio transit talk. This is your host, the dealer of peace, the peace dealer, not the peace stealer. I'm not stealing your pea, and I'm not stealing your peas. I am dealing the peace. Shout out to Flight Boss. We are, of course, going to start with a ceremonial card draw to set an intention. You are welcome to set any intention, but let's see what message we can create. Okay. Of course, these tarot cards are but just a tool that I use to express my subconscious whims and bring light to consciously. So let's see what message we can co create. All right. The first message that is coming up very strong is this Mercury and Scorpio will show you that it will be really hard for you to show hate to those who you feel pity for. Okay. Um, the contrarian urge to, and Mayenda, thank you. I just got your uh, request, to undermine the value you've built over the past 6 months will not work because of the strength of the values you maintain through integrity. And so this transformation will splash, and the uncomfort of other people having to realize that their passive aggressive whims will not work on you will inspire them to evoke hate from you. You will see that they'll default to struggle. They'll run out of PP and moves. And so they're going to revert to their base form because they're insecure. It's going to reveal those true colors. And there's no hate towards them because you see them as lesser than you. You see their behavior that exposes their lack of integrity is them lowering themselves, and it's going to infuriate them when they see that you are truly untouchable. Anyway, we're going to talk about Mercury, which is going to bring this supernatural apotheosis and transformation of your brain processing function in a way that will help you really see this coming into the Sagittarius transit. Mind you, Mercury will retrograde in Capricorn. So Mercury in Capricorn is going to awaken a utilization in your brain processing function that will, of course, deepen the layers and quality of how you process God power. Okay. So a lot of this transformation is going to set the path for that. Anyway, we do have the King of Cups. Would you know this is actually the card of Scorpio? Okay. So this is bringing so much emotional maturity to the depth of layers you process every nuance in just one frame of an experience. And you want to allow what you are discerning through this, like a counselor giving you advice, to really do everything that you can in order to facilitate not only that quality. Oh my God, I had no idea this was on Logitech. Not only that quality of course, wisdom, but it's definitely going to add so much sauce to how you say things. And we do have the Five of Wands, which is going to be this uncomfortable sense of friction because your value is rapidly developing in front of other people. Six of Pentacles is earned success that you're coming into, which adds to the competitive element, and your attitude, which is going to be very witty and swift. So there's really good innovation that we see here relative to the sharp-witted nature of your mind and these new discoveries of how you apply these ideas. But I think what's very important here is, a lot of that friction and competitiveness and struggle is breaking through into earned success. And that King of Cups brings this sense of comfort in the way you harvest this expression, in the way you transform communicating with people like, bitch, I told you so. You were telling me I shouldn't work on this or this, that. I told you so. Look at the results. Look at the results. Okay. And this isn't really to prove. This is just to tell people. So anyway, we do also have the Lovers. I feel like some of the King of Wands could be you showing up as this mature, depth of wisdom, or dealing with someone like this. We do have the Lovers. So this will really open up with the receptivity of Venus and Virgo to real social dynamics, develop naturally, and allow you to come into greater depth. Thank you, the Fairy Soldier. Okay. That being said, Stomp the Shoes and Mayenda, you guys are going to be first. For those of you who want to join the queue and would like a live reading about Mercury and Scorpio, click the link down below. I do have, of course, 18 spots left. Okay. That being said, as you can see, Mercury is 1 degrees Scorpio. The October 22nd transit to November 1st is the transit of Scorpio, Mercury, and Mars, of course, in the beginning of Scorpio, coming into the second decan. That is the Pluto setup with now the Neptune transcendence in the second decan, which is now actively dosing your brain with LSD. This LSD, okay, is the production of energy you've been cultivating for 6 months. Okay. This is not natural energy. This isn't Taurus that's going to be tangible. This is going to express itself through the wisdom of the experience of new habits that since last month you fully integrated. Okay. So things are going to get very paranormal and very supernatural because you are actively transforming how much evolution of your brain that is going to take radical new concepts that with synchronicities have blown your mind and will now put all of them together and break them through with synchronicities that will blow your mind even deeper. I mean, just think about how much more confidence your will is because you've put all of these things together yourself in light of opposing influences that have wished to shame and guilt you for actually knowing who you are and tapping into your authenticity. Okay. We are not talking about people who don't have receipts and pretend to be someone or something they're not. You have not only proved this with your actions, but you have maintained consistency. And now this is blossoming in your behavior. And that is the transformation, the supernatural apotheosis of your mind. I want you to look at this trine to Saturn because this is what reinforces all the work you've done to program really quickly new beliefs. Okay. We had the Virgo season opposition to this Saturn. So this is the final part of this harvest coming through Scorpio of the ascended transformation relative to, of course, Pisces. The reason why this is important is our brains coming at that key trine is what is fixing in Scorpio this transformation of our brain's neural pathways to now produce an ascended quality of wisdom through supernatural perception. And this is where the first part of this process is happening in a very deep way. These are new ideas that you're starting to transform your understanding of. So, what do you know? As soon as we now fast forward to today, we do see that Mercury has overtaken Mars. Okay. Mercury is in between Jupiter and Uranus. So, this Mercury and Scorpio transit talk is going to look at, okay, the rest of this transit coming into November 10th. The next 10 days, the next 8 to 10 days of this transit are going to bring the more dramatic evidence of this. And what really triggered now this more active transformation of the quality of your mind is the recent conjunction with Mars. Mars is very much so the set tripper and the stepper of the zodiac. And this is what now, with this active cycle, mind you, this is Mercury and Mars do not just come together in exact conjunction all the time. And guess where it happened? Opposite Jupiter. So if we take ourselves to the end of October, this is what has now activated the mind body connection. When I say mind body connection, hand eye coordination has a lot to do with your brain's ability to transfer whatever language and intent that your actions have. Like there's your processing, there's a lag you can have where you process something and then take action, or you can take action on the fly while processing. Some people are really good at doing one, other people are really good at just processing and doing the others. Scorpio with Mercury and Mars are fusing your brain and action ability to take these new supernatural abilities you have just spent the past half year activating and integrating at the next level. And this is now completing the 180 degree opposition towards full harvest. Now, as Mercury is leading the zodiac before it retrogrades and reevaluates how to use this brain processing function post ascension, okay, after you see how it's changed through Sagittarius, this intensity is now picking up greater processing speed and ability. You are going to every degree and every day of this pick up deeper wisdom, deeper wisdom, deeper insight, deeper understanding as the sun and Mars make you aware of how to take action based off of the data and wisdom and crumbs that Mercury is giving you. Okay, so as we look at this stage, of course, from Mercury opposite Jupiter to now in between Uranus, your brain is in the process of harvesting natural, innovated expansion. The natural quality of these ideas are now beginning to take shape and form as you harvest them. And this is what will now, coming into the next couple of days, set up the very unconventional and very supernatural apotheosis process. I think the first thing to really establish through this is that Mars is going to be connecting with the sun. The sun traveling with Mars brings a broad awareness to at least have us be able to see what's happening and to really process the depth of this transformation as Mercury now starts to connect with the extra dimensional and supernatural, or rather metaphysical planets, Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus. This is where shit's gonna get super real, guys. So basically, coming into like the end of next week, now that everything is set up, this Uranus opposition is taking the extra dimensional quality of energy, and it's going to transform your processing of how to purely apply the supernatural quality of this socially with other people. This is now taking that Scorpio awareness, not just in your social environment, but even personally with you, how you express it outward. You want to see like the left half of the zodiac is inward and the right half is outward. The bottom half is more private and the top half is public. Okay. So this is going to be here until like the 10th. And this is where you're going to start to see more of a radical revolution of your response, reaction, and dealing with opposing influences. This is where everything up until this point is you laying the smack down mentally and telepathically and with your actions with people, you know what I'm saying? Manually. And once we step here, it's automatic. Now you're automatically whooping ass, especially as Mars completes this innovation coming into, of course, the 11th. So the reason why that's important is by the time Mars completes this innovation, Mercury is mastering the quality of this wisdom and transformation of your mind. The sextile to Pluto really adds an extreme intensity of control for how you'll be able to direct this, especially with the subsequent retrograde. So now that we've got a bit of the math out the way, I want you to really think about the deepest synchronicities, because like at this stage in the game, there's a deep synthesis of everything that the universe has been telling you and you've been telling yourself through other people and yourself that is now coming together to transform. I mean, if Virgo is you bringing all the pieces of basil and seasoning, right? Scorpio is you putting all of that together in the food. You've transformed these individual elements to now create a meal, right? So this is really now in terms of the principles and the ideas and concepts that you have been collecting and gathering. This is now you applying this transformation. But Uranus and Jupiter has made these contents very unconventional. stuff that people can't believe. And so to other people, you're going to be making the impossible possible. To other people, you're going to be shattering the leverage that they never had over you but felt they did, because now you're doing and performing things that they're telling you is not possible. And the thing is, it's not that it wasn't possible. It was really framing a false perception over what you were doing, and you're going to shatter that perception so that it could be seen for what it is. All right. They may try and run, they may try and hide, but you're laying the smack down. And the evidence and effect of this will be the Sagittarius. Okay. Yeah, it's real. So, with that being said, okay, as you tap into the God within, okay, this is going to really intensify the purity with which you apply everything you have integrated. And there will be this very delirious yet exhilarated nature to the quality of how much more deeper you're going to think. Another thing about this transit is, relative to this year, there are a lot of mysteries and there were a lot of discoveries and analysis that you have made with and around other people. And now these mysteries are going to fundamentally become discovered in very exaggerated fashion and very unconventional fashion. The way your brain is going to deduce and discern these mysteries will really tie in the development of how much you have grown as a person. Because it's not like anyone's going to do this for you. And Mercury is the detective's mind in Scorpio that gets to the bottom of an issue, but you're going to be able to see through conflicts with X-ray challenge. Okay. So with that being said, you definitely are, with the trines to Neptune, peering into a lot of what your imagination created in order to bring it into great and ascended completion over the next 2 months in an applicable way that literally changes everything around your world because of the respected harvests and completion of cycles and simultaneous initiations. We also want to keep into account that coming into the next couple of weeks, Mercury will aspect the North Node in Aries. And this deeper quality of wisdom you are applying to the situations that established themselves months prior will transform the approach you take towards your destiny and mission. Okay. The last thing I'm going to say is that this supernatural apotheosis of the mind will enable you to harness excess attributes of your brain that society around you has conditioned you to believe that is impossible to access and harness. And the first part of this is going to feel unconsciously through this and won't feel like you're doing anything at all before we come into about 5 days to a week now, where those oppositions just boom, bring it out, okay, in the trines and the sextiles, but in a more gradual way too, that just strengthens your mind so you don't get overloaded by this excess of pure energy. Cool. Other than that, it will feel like you're taking an NZT pill, but without taking the pill, since you're naturally actually, producing this yourself. And I hope you enjoy that. Okay. I'm going to come into the live readings. What is going to collectively occur, because this is a social aspect, is just like you're going to be uncovering mysteries, everyone else around you in their own way will. And this is going to converge together coming into the God level signs. Remember, Scorpio is the last social sign. So we're getting ready to ascend as a collective. And that's going to be very dangerous because we're in a war period. So, okay. This is also going to take a lot of conflicting narratives and slice the falsity away from what the true perspective is. And that's where those who stay in the integrity of their beliefs and try not to just coerce and manipulate other people will really remain victorious because they stayed pure. Do expect people to be super intense with this Scorpio energy about what they're saying. And even though some of it may be true, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about on all sides. All right. You're going to have more people than ever. Like all this Scorpio energy is trining Pisces with delusional ass, like dreamy Pisces. I'm not talking about zened out Pisces. I'm talking about delusional ass Pisces, where because people don't respect Pisces. The reason why Pisces is delusional isn't because of Pisces. Pisces is zen out. The society does not really respect Pisces. It's one of the four antisocials. So it produces delusion in people who think they know shit, but they don't. You're not. If you're not Aquarius verified, Pisces will always be a delusion. If you're Pisces verified, if you're Aquarius verified, Pisces is divine. So with that being said, that's trying to Pisces is going to have so many people and so intensely focused on what they're saying and tying in the narratives they're making up. And like, you know, if you don't have prominent air or earth, you'll fall for the cap. Don't fall for the cap. Don't fall for the hype. Okay. Focus your mind on your intention. Now let's apply this message. Okay. Now that we know that we're coming into this transformation of the mind, let's practically apply this. What are intentions that you want to see expressed immediately? Because your brain is going to wrap around the function and mechanic of instant manifestation through the Kirk factor of your thoughts. Instant manifestation meaning not random thoughts you have, but fully intentful thoughts coming to form near instantly with the natural sequence and rhythm of your own body. So it's like you can be like double judge, you could be like double judge, or you could be having a boat come through and you missed the boat ride, but there's another boat ride coming in 5 minutes. This is where your mind is going to connect with that rhythm. So it's like, okay, I'm making this intent right now that I can get a special type of cheeseburger. And I realized that once I made that intent, the boat to get that cheeseburger just left. But I'm focusing on that intent, and there's another boat coming in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Boom, I facilitated the process to get a cheeseburger, whether I paid for it or just happened magically. Your brain is now able to, at a very intense level, process this. Whereas before you might have been unconscious and experienced this like a synchronicity. Okay. Once Mercury goes into Capricorn, you're able to control this. And then once it's in Aquarius, you will come into advanced knowledge of what you're controlling. But the Scorpio is the actual pure transformation into this. So it's going to feel like you took an NZT pill. Okay. Or like if you took the NZT pill like 6 months ago, right? Now that NZT pill is finally activating. All right. Because now it's ingrained with your body. So that's beautiful. I'm going to do once again the live readings. David Sigma, thank you for your Cash App. I'm gonna pull a card for you. For those of you who would like a more in-depth look into Mercury in Scorpio, you are most welcome to click the oh no way. You are most welcome thank you to click the description box below, and you can get a snapshot transit forecast report. The first 15 seats, of course, will be the first 10 seats will be 50% off with the code Mercury. Okay. But if you want more insight into how this will affect you personally, I am offering these 15-minute reports, and they will last until like the 10th. The code especially. So just in case you ready, you know I'm gonna go in. All right. That being said, King Sigma, Amber D, the NZT pill, is a concept from the movie Limitless. Okay, and it basically enables you to access 100% of your brain. So this Mercury and Scorpio transformation of your mind relative to Uranus and Jupiter opposite it in Taurus is literally similar to taking an NZT pill and transforming the quality of your brain processing to harness near 100%, especially as Mercury will trine Neptune and sextile Pluto. The thing with the Uranus opposition is that a lot of people are dumb. A lot of people hide behind a false sense of ethos. And because of this degree or because of this experience, they think they know more than other people when all they have is worldly wisdom. So, for those of you tapping into goddess wisdom or the God's wisdom is literally like night and day from worldly wisdom. Okay. Like the stupidity of God's wisdom is literally leagues smarter than the most intelligence of man's wisdom. So, like, that's going to be a huge dichotomy. Like, people are going to be treating you like you're stupid because you're relying on God's wisdom. And these people are stupid. Like, they feel like because of their limited knowledge, even over like hundreds of thousands or thousands of years, like people get a lot in their ego. And when you disagree with their authority, they start to get attitudes. And your wisdom is not going to be something that could be read in books. It's not going to be something that has like easy sources, but you're still producing consistency of results with it. So, yeah, you're going to really be transforming the nature of how people approach you because that passive aggressive psychological BS they were hitting you with isn't going to work anymore. And you're laying the smack down on them, calling them out on it directly and indirectly. And they're really going to be put in their place. Anyway, King Sigma, the card that we have for you is the Six of Wands. The underlying theme of this Mercury and Scorpio is success. All right. Coming into greater popularity and seeing the projects you've worked on bear more than fruit. This is about you maintaining leadership because you're able to really bring so much more passion and, of course, so much more determination to lead forward this success that's coming through. It's very festive here, especially with the main card with the Nine of Pentacles, dude. So the main card we have for you is Venus and Virgo. This is independent financial success. And the Six of Wands, you're coming into greater popularity and lots of money. Nine of Pentacles is money made independently. So this is really, really fruitful. Both of these together is really awesome. I feel like the celebration is because like you've come into a much greater milestone and people around you who like you have seen the work, they've seen the growth, and this is really going to translate very, 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 very fruitfully for you, like literally fruitfully too. Like you could see the fruits on that card. So, all right, first we have Stomp the Shoes. I don't have a specific topic to pinpoint, but can you freestyle my chart for this transit Scorpio Mercury? Stomp the Shoes. You did not send me your chart, so please email me your natal chart. And then I got you. Okay. I don't know if you're a Scorpio, but oh no, you did. So you okay. November 21st, 2001. I can use that. Thank you. I know you're a Scorpio. I may not know your rising, but if I know your birthday, we can go from there. 2001 means that you probably have Saturn in Gemini. So this is definitely going to fine tune your vocifery. And it's so funny because if I already said it, it's already done, is what's been coming out. And I thought I was meant to say that for David, but I meant to say that for you. It's going to apply to him, but I think this is definitely going to apply to you too. Saturn, for those of you who have Saturn in Gemini, Saturn in Pisces is rounding out your ability to instantly manifest everything you declare with your voice. Okay. It's like your word is law. And that's why your integrity of honesty is more serious than most. It kind of has to be. All right, so we see your 29-degree Scorpio sun. That's wild. Oh, okay. My email is thepeacedealer@gmail.com. 29-degree Scorpio sun is wow. With the aqua moon, I don't know if I'm reading this right. This is crazy. Aqua moon on Mars, Uranus, and Neptune. So you're an alien, another alien. Oh my fucking God. You definitely have Saturn in Gemini and you have North Node in Gemini. So for those of you born 2001 with North Node and Saturn in Gemini, if you have any children born 2001 with North Node or Saturn in Gemini, their word is linked with destiny. The karma and the materialization of their word is aligned with destiny. So some kids born here might be unaware that everything they say happens instantly. It's not like in the Sag way where it'll happen in a more collective way. It's a lot more individual. And of course, as a Scorpio sun with this is going to influence the behavior that you approach this expression with. All right. Especially because you have Mercury and Venus in Scorpio. So this is definitely with the return going to influence you to rewire and reset the method and mode of how exactly you not only come back up with this, but what you want to look at the return as is like reing up on supplies. All right. And thankfully, we know you're an Aries rising. So this is going to really impact your awareness towards others. You are the celestial pure king. B.O.B. Like people underestimate Moon Aqua Sun Scorpio. B.O.B. is a Moon Aqua Sun Scorpio. And like most of his career is just legit exposing the bullshit and the lies. Y'all know how to apply advanced knowledge to revealing the hidden, not just like the occult, but like things that are hidden to blind society. Okay. And it doesn't have to be just like BOB, but as an Aries rising, you're the front runner. So you are taking everything that you've been manifesting in your second house and you're investing it with the right resources. This is also going to function as a return on investment at the same time and over the next 6 months. Like in 6 months, you're going to have Sun, Jupiter in your second house, money. Okay. And the coolest thing is your sun is in Scorpio. So that 29-degree mastery of wisdom and purity is going to really pay off, especially at the end of this transit where we're going to have the sun and Mars kind of here. So you really just want to allow things to unfold for you because you already are coming with a mastered sense of awareness. This activation and this reset is going to influence very purely how you deal with others, because this is your awareness of things with other people in the 8th house. This is going to reinforce boundaries. But let's ask, what's different between this Scorpio season and last Scorpio season? Jupiter's in your second. Uranus is in your second. So your quality, your self-esteem, your confidence, the values that you hold are significantly different than they used to be. 6 months ago, you had Sun Jupiter in your first house. You actively evolved your character and your persona. And so this is you harvesting that. This is you showing up so much stronger than ever. This is you reeing up your thoughts and your process in a way that's going to transform completely your dealings with others. And what you want to be careful of is Saturn going direct in your 12th. You don't want to give in to doubt from other people and hidden enemies who feed into that because you might be unsure. Do not be tentative. And the more sure you are of this growth, the better. Venus, of course, is going to be coming out your 6th. And so this is going to really polish and make you aware of friends who reinforce good habits and behaviors and do not hold you back. Okay, that's it's your routines and behaviors that will really expose who the hidden enemies are in your life. Okay. So every day, I would I would already snag up Virgo. It's just Virgo's gonna be nagging, and Gemini, we got an attitude. So like you just wouldn't thank you. It will be amazing. Maybe for the first 2 weeks, the sex will be on point, but then I just thankfully I got the Earth. Thankfully, I can make it work with Earth signs. I can make it work because I got the Taurus and I got the Cap. No, Queen, it's cool. It's cool. We still gonna get that drink. I know I'm in Taurus procrastinating, but it's all good. But like, yeah. So how the F do you know who your enemies are? Stick to a routine. Stick to a routine, especially if it's a new routine. Okay. Who is trying to get in the way of developing this good behavior and habit? That's your hidden enemy in the 12th house. Who's trying to like get you away from that? Who's trying to be like, oh, forget that? That's a hidden enemy. Okay. So, yeah. That being said, next we're going to do Marienda. Oops. Ready to get rid of unhelpful habits and activate my superpowers. Okay. Gemini Sun, Scorpio rising. And I love that you're born 77. Like, yay, y'all both have Saturn in Leo. Okay. This is cool because, yeah, you both also have Jupiter, Zeus on the sun. You're a god, goddess, actually. And you also have Mercury in its dignity. So I love this because with your late Scorpio rising, you're a truth blaster. You have this ability at a very deep, intimate level to say the precise words that someone needs to hear at that right moment, like magic. And it blows people's minds. And it probably makes people hate you because they can't manipulate you. As a pure queen, okay, as a Scorpio rising pure queen, the South Node has already unlocked the purity of your personality. It's transformed, who you are as a person. And we can say you're safely getting ready to wrap up chapter 6 in your evolution of development. You are integrating evolution that you really kicked off end of 2018, coming into 2019. This is going to set up next year, where coming out of the end of May 2024, Jupiter will be at the end of your 7th house. And that's going to begin the evolution of your partnerships and the full-on harvest of all the work you've done. So this is coming into grateful integration. This is having you release and transform yourself out of old unconscious habits. And the really cool thing about this is you've already kind of finished your Saturn return. 2021, you had the Saturn opposition with what we could say is the finishing of your second Saturn return. So your abilities have matured. Uranus in Scorpio is now opposite in Taurus. And the reason why this is key is it falling in the 12th house is this very transcendent psychological quality of claircognizance that enables you to literally target deep in anybody who is in your presence in auric field, and you will begin to completely talk to them about what they're going through. You don't even have to know this. You could be talking about the weather, and the way you're talking about the weather brings up concepts about the issues they're having with their grandmother. And it freaks certain people out if they're impure and have ulterior motives, but you are literally like their angel. Okay, which is very important because you are the holy angel. You have the Cancer moon in its dignity. You have a holy soul. You have the sincere understanding of how to manifest this truth. Of course, with Jupiter and Mercury with such brilliance, you are very smart and you understand the emotional intelligence of how to really feel into the nuance. So with the integrity you have here socially, right? At this point of integration, this is going to really bring everything around towards not so much what superpowers you're awakening, but more so how you're integrating these superpowers. Okay. And I appreciate it because we're Geminis. As a Gemini, Uranus, that's going to come back into our signs coming into the next couple of years, is what's going to hyper accelerate the brain's ability to process at an angelic level. You're not going to sleep. You're not going to need to sleep or eat. So what is really integrating for you is a more mind-body connection to align your body towards how psychic you already are. You want to think that you have already activated these abilities, but your ability to be consciously aware of that will be made super evident as Jupiter and Uranus come out of our awareness into Gemini. So what's happening to you now, especially with Mars and Venus in Taurus, is that the way you naturally integrate this towards other people as a Scorpio rising is transcending you out of old natural habits and stubbornness to fix that stubbornness towards the greater definition of your style and your behavior. It's also automating ridiculous income. So this is going to be very powerful. And since this is going to end coming out of your first house, you're going to be able to apply this apotheosis towards personifying it. So that's what's going to make it feel like it activated out of nowhere, but it's really been cooking within you for the past 6 months. Okay. So thank you very much. Oh my God, May Majesty, I'm so sorry. I just saw the subject. My apologies. All right, and thank you as well. So Christian Dixie, Mercury and Scorpio pool. Let's get it. We have the Eight of Wands. Okay. This reminds me of the Fire Tribe report where we got the Eight of Wands in the bottom card, arrows of love, breakthrough. And this is just, especially with this legendary Pokemon, things moving very swift, quick evolution. Okay. And we do have the Two of Wands. So I think when we did that, we got the world in the Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands is not only the world in your hands, Christian, very quickly, you're going to have everything that you want to move forward. Like, let's say you're like, you know what? I want to make a platinum selling. Jax, that's what I'm saying. It's fucking Deoxys, bro. Fucking Deoxys. That's crazy. And like, I think it's in its attack mode. So like, you got the Eight of Wands and the Two of Wands. This is like saying, you know what? I want to make a platinum selling album. And like within less than 2 weeks, you got all the producers, you got all the writers, you got all the features, you got all everything that you need, and you're ready to direct it. It's just boom, you know exactly how you want it to be. And it's really like putting yourself in a position to command more understanding than ever of what exactly you want, how exactly you want to approach it, and really break through with it. Too. I love that the Two of Wands is the main card for you too, because this is definitely going to have you with this 10th house Scorpio transit in your 4th house redefine the comfort you have with the success that you're personally coming into. Okay, so really badass, really badass. You guys stay blessed as always. All right, I definitely enjoyed this per usual. And if we don't have any more live readings, I'm going to peace out of here. Okay. So you guys stay blessed once again. And until next time.